Good morning, West Brunswick High School faculty and staff. COVID-19 has changed many things for us, and our end of the year celebration is no different. We were trying to decide how we would be able to celebrate you with everything that was going on since we could not get together. And so we decided that we would do a video and celebrate some special people on our staff that are retiring this year. And we also celebrate some people and the lives of some special people in their lives, maybe births, marriages, and those that have lost loved ones. So we're going to celebrate through video this year, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it's special to those of you, especially those that are retiring. We first want to start out with some celebrations, and each of these people will receive a Gideon Bible in their honor. First of all, we have Miss Sheila Sheets, who has a new granddaughter. Her name is Annika Rose Taylor. So congratulations to Miss Sheets, and again, a Gideon Bible will be bought for Annika. Also, we had 4 staff members who lost loved ones this year, and we want to celebrate the lives of those special people. Mr. John Ball's father, John Ball Sr., Ashley Speckman's mother, Harriet Sewell Usry, Mary Evans' stepfather, Tommy Johnson, and Miss Laura Daniels' husband, Melvin Daniels. And again, Gideon Bibles will be bought for each of those people in their memory. And we want them to know that we know those people were special in their lives, and they're special to us, and we want to celebrate those lives with them. We have 3 people retiring this year, and we want to make sure that we celebrate and recognize those folks. They are Mr. John Ball, Miss Nancy Broom, and Miss Annette Parton. All 3 of them will receive West Brunswick High School yearbooks, but unfortunately, COVID-19 has kept us from being able to sign those yearbooks. So we have asked some of our faculty and staff to share stories, maybe memories, and just some kind words or words that describe these special retirees. So enjoy your colleagues.
I've known John Ball for 14 years, ever since he came here as a math teacher, and then we became real close when he became the ITF. He is the most dependable person I know and the most helpful person I know.
I have known John for the last 5 years while I've been here at West, and he is super helpful, but more than that, he doesn't just check a box that he's doing his job. He always goes above and beyond to go that extra mile for whatever's best for the students. And I would just say his wittiness is always appreciated. He always can make a great joke about anything. I would also say I'd appreciate that he is a problem solver. Whatever the problem may be, he tries to figure out a way to make it work, even when it doesn't seem like it could work, where some people would throw up their hands and just say forget it. He tries to make it work for what's best for staff and students.
I agree. I've known him for 14 years too, and he's sometimes when you're standing in front of a class and something breaks down, you're in a little bit of a tizzy, and you call John on the phone. I think it's 1444 or 1333.
I don't remember.
Anyway, and he comes in and he's so calm. Mm-hmm. It's like a doctor, you know, when they come and you've broken your leg, they don't say, "Holy crap!" He doesn't do that. He's just really calm. And he goes through the possible reasons. Sometimes it's just a switch that's been flipped. Or sometimes this is plugged in. Or sometimes this isn't plugged in. And then he doesn't make you feel bad about not doing that. He just, says it's a matter of fact kind of thing. And he's got that dry sense of humor. And he's really good to work with.
A funny story about John, he always did the messages home, and one time this message came on and it was an Australian accent, and I'm like, who the heck is that? And so I thought it was, how sometimes you get a robotic voice, and so the next day I asked him, he goes, oh no, that was me, I just felt like I wanted to be Australian. I just cracked up. He was just so funny, and loved his emails that he would send out to the faculty and staff about if he wasn't going to be here, and there was always something very humorous in those.
Absolutely. He's such a genuine person, and I agree, the calmness that he has when something goes wrong is always so helpful. He never made me feel inferior. I'm not a very technological person, and he never made me feel inferior when I had a question. He always answered and was helpful with that. So he is going to be greatly missed by the staff and by these students.
He helps me with the yearbook in addition to the classes, and every year we take a big picture of the kids in the shape of whatever year they're graduating for. And I've tried all different methods to get everybody in this photograph, including like bringing in one guy, a pilot, flew a plane over and took a picture for me one year. We had the big boom truck come in, and when the history teacher that climbed up in the boom truck left, I said, I can't get up in that truck. John hopped in that electric basket and went up, I don't know how many feet into the air to take the picture of the kids. And when we started taking the photo on the bleachers, which worked so well, he would climb on giant ladders. And then we finally figured out what he did. He came up with the idea of using his drone, and it took the best photos because we've got a gate in front of the bleachers, and if you've got a student that's a little bit lower, a little bit shorter, maybe a student in a wheelchair, their head is going to be completely cut off if we're at a lower angle. So he uses that drone to take the picture. And this year, he took about, 10 photographs, and one senior comes running across the field as fast as he could and squeezes in there, and then we take 4 more pictures. And he picked out the best one to send to me, and we didn't realize that kid wasn't in there. And everybody's saying, where's the kid? Where's the kid? So John grabs him out. The photograph he was in wasn't the best picture. Some people had eyes closed and things like that. He grabs the body. He uses Photoshop to Photoshop him out and squeeze him in, and it looks just as perfection. You can't tell that the guy was Photoshopped in there. It looks like he's sitting next to this person and got his arm around this person. It's perfect. He does magic for us.
He is going to be missed. I don't know what I'll do without him. I always could call on him when a kid had a problem with getting on the computer, or I had a problem, just like they said, and he was always there. Calm, cool, collected, never got excited. Just did what he needed to do to help anybody. He was so helpful to everybody and anybody.
We hope you enjoy your retirement. Well deserved.
Definitely.
Take a break. Don't touch a computer for a while.
We're going to miss you, John.
Unless you want to. We're going to miss you a lot.
Yeah.
I've known Nancy Broom for 12 years. She was hired the year before I came to West. We were both hired by Mr. Kelly. And on that first day, she became my friend as well as my colleague. One of the funniest things to remember is we were on a work day, and the 3 Spanish teachers had been out to eat lunch at Duffer's to share that rare moment together. And we had driven together, so when we got back and everybody left for the end of the day, I looked around to get in my car and couldn't find my car keys. So I quickly called Nancy. She was almost at home in South Carolina, but I asked her, did she have my keys in the car by chance? She pulled over her car, looked for the keys, found them, and laughingly said she'd be right back. So I waited patiently for her to drive up. She came around the corner of the parking lot, dropped the keys in my hand with a smile and a laugh, and said she'd see me tomorrow. She took care of us. Nancy once stated that she wanted to be the teacher that the students remembered with a smile. And she has definitely accomplished that goal in her years as a kindergarten as well as a Spanish teacher. She performed songs like Bate Bate Chocolate and the Countries and Capitals, and used projects where the kids were so motivated that they didn't know they were learning at the same time. And they always did it with a smile. So the kids would come in my room and tell me about all these exciting things they were doing in her classroom. And they wanted to share their experiences with the other kids. And in fact, they learned through this, and it was a great experience. Nancy always engaged her kids, and that kept them motivated. 3 words that remind me of Nancy Broom are petite yet powerful. She is definitely a powerful teacher and a wonderful friend. She has always been close and will continue to be close. Alexander J. Trenford stated once that best teachers are those who show their students where to look, but don't tell them what to see. Nancy has opened the doors for so many of our youth so that their futures are bright, and had her as a guidance for those years when they were kindergarten or high school. We can be very proud to have Nancy Broom as a member of our faculty, and I wish her well in her retirement.
How long have I known Miss Broom? I guess I would have to say we met around 2008, 2009 school year, somewhere around that time. I was new to the school, and we somehow became friends. And we became friends because she just stopped by my classroom one day and said, "Hi, I'm Nancy Broom. I'm just wanted to say hello and meet you." And so we just kind of started talking. And after we started talking, we kind of got to know each other, and we talk a little more and talk a little more. And I found out she had two sons, and I told her I had two daughters. And then next thing I know, her son's getting married, and then we start discussing like what she's going to wear and what she's, this kind of thing, that kind of thing. And then she even bought in her dresses and to let me see them. And then her son was hitched. And then my daughter became engaged. And after my daughter became engaged, she was very instrumental in helping me plan my daughter's wedding, like planning what I should wear and picking out the right dress for me and that kind of thing. So it was fun. And then after we had them hitched, and a few years later, we became grandparents. And so we were sharing pictures. She was showing me pictures. I was showing her pictures. And so that was fun. That was a fun time for us because we were telling grandma stories. And there's nothing better than being a grandma. I'm just saying, and I think she feels the same way, right? Okay. If I have to say anything about Miss Broom, she is a lover of family. Yeah, very much so. She's also a God-fearing woman. We often prayed together. So she's a lover of the Lord. And she's a caring person. And I think those are three things that I would use to describe her. Also, as far as her students are concerned, she was a teacher that had high expectations for them. And the reason I say that is because we often talked and we kind of shared lessons in that she would have a project and her students might come to me and ask for help with that project, whether it was talking about a famous artist or creating a piece of artwork that represented a particular holiday in the Spanish culture. And another thing that I noticed being around her, and I know that she held her students at a higher standard, is because when I was near her and they were not in class, and she met up with a student, say for instance we were in the hallway or somewhere, she would speak to that student in Spanish. And I'm standing there and like, I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, but they would. And they would talk back to her. And then she would say something else to them. And then they would say something back. So I knew she was really getting them ready for their next steps, because they understood everything she said and were able to respond to her with, I assume, the correct pronunciation, because the conversation would continue. So I think, and if anyone would miss anything about Miss Broom at being at West, it would probably be, well, first of all, she was a true Trojan, even though she didn't graduate from West like I did, but she was a Trojan at heart. She was a real fan of the sports programs, and she loved to have the Trojan pride showing by wearing the Trojan gear and cheering the kids on. You know, some of the kids that she had in her class were athletes, so she was always standing behind them. Also, if there's another thing that they would miss about her, or we would miss about her, is her caring for her children. If there was one that was in need of something, she would always try to make sure that was taken care of, and she would help them out in whatever that endeavor was. So I think because she's a caring person, because she's a friendly person, because she's a loving person, that the students will always miss her because of her attitude towards them, how she loved them, how she cared for them, and how she pushed them to be the best that they could be, which is what I think we're supposed to do as educators. I want to say to you that I'm thrilled for you, that you've reached this milestone in your life, that you're able to retire and become a 24-hour grandma, which is my goal in life. And hopefully in a few years that will happen. And I know that you're going to love being able to be with your grandchildren as much as possible. And I want to say happy retirement, and that I love you, and God bless you, and please keep in touch.
Hey, this is for Nancy's retirement. Just want to say we'll miss her as she goes on to another adventure in her life. And so these are some of the questions we wanted to answer to say a little bit about Nancy. One of the questions is, how long have I known her? I started working with Nancy in January of 2012. And so for several years. And one of the funniest stories, I have to say, when I met Nancy, she used to talk about her dogs as being her grandbabies. And now them dogs aren't even mentioned anymore, because now she's got 2 grandbabies, and that's all we hear about is the grandbabies. So those poor dogs, they're long gone. The other one is, what do I consider Nancy's greatest contributions? The thing that most impressed me when I first started working at the school was she put together the graduation at the aquarium, and that was, I thought that was just one of the neatest things, that she got all that together. And so I think people will remember, that's one of the things they will remember about her. And the 3 words used to describe Nancy, and I would say that she's very organized, and so I kind of drove her crazy on that one. And very willing to help, and has no problem speaking her mind. So so those are the things we'll remember about Nancy. And again, what will she be remembered for? The kids loved her. They always said they love Miss Broom, they love Miss Broom. So those are the things that we will remember about her. And just to say, we will miss her, but we plan on seeing her also. So, love you, Nancy. Bye.
We're here for Miss Annette Parton. She is retiring this year and will be deeply missed here at West Brunswick High School. I've known Annette for 18 years. She is one that is always here, spends countless hours, is dedicated to her students, loves those kids with all her heart. She puts on the most beautiful concerts and performances and gets the most musical talents out of her children. She is dedicated and passionate. She will always be remembered as running up and down these halls 24/7. She is here about as much as we are here with athletics. She's just one of those people that is hard to replace, and we are greatly going to miss her leadership, and her dedication to this school and to that program. Whoever's coming in has some big shoes to fill with her.
I have known Miss Harton for 12 years. When I started teaching, she was not my assigned mentor, but she has been a mentor to me throughout my years here at West Brunswick. And you know, your first year of teaching, you cry a lot. And so I was in her office with lots of struggles that seemed big at the time, but she just stayed calm and helped me get through those. And so I'll forever be grateful for her encouragement and mentorship, and just the way she helped me grow as a teacher. I will remember her for the way she cared for her students. She loved them truly, and she encouraged them to be who they wanted to be, who they felt like they were, and accepted them for whoever they were, and didn't make them feel any pressure to be who the world says they should be. Her classroom was a place that everybody felt accepted and loved, and that is something that I admire about her. I will miss her tremendously, and we wish her the very best in her next season of life.
Good. I've known Annette for 17 years. She was my mentor, and over those years has continued to be my mentor. I was fortunate enough to work closely with her, and I see what she has done and did for her students every day, day in and day out. Dedication and passion is definitely two words that come to mind when I think of Annette. One of the things I've told several people about was her ability to listen. No matter how busy she was, or if she was in the middle of something, she always stopped, put her pencil down, and gave the time and truly listened to the staff, to me, to her students, and always gave that time. Her dedication is remarkable. The hours that she spent here is amazing, and her programs and her choirs were fantastic and top rated. So we have big shoes to fill for Annette, and will be greatly missed, and we appreciate everything that she's done for us personally, our students, in the school here at West.
And I'd say the whole county, with the work that she's put into Arts Alive and countywide talent shows, it isn't just West Brunswick that will be missing her, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoyed those words shared by your colleagues for our 3 retirees. I hope Mr. Boll and Miss Broom and Miss Harton enjoyed them as well. I know I enjoyed listening to them earlier when they were sent to us. Such special memories, and it just says how much these 3 people mean to West Brunswick High School. To our retirees, we just want to wish you the best. We look forward to seeing you at West Brunswick. I know you'll be coming back to us. Miss Broom has already promised me she will be a proctor in the spring. So we welcome you back to West Brunswick High School just to visit or just to see you, and please keep in touch. But we wish you the best as you begin this new chapter that you've worked so hard for. And just keep in mind, some of us are jealous. But enjoy retirement, and you deserve it, and we wish you the best. To the whole faculty and staff, I just want to say thank you. This year has been like no other year we've ever experienced in education. COVID-19 absolutely changed the word school. And I appreciate everything that you did. It was difficult. It was quick transfer. And you guys stepped up to the plate and you gave it everything you had so that our students could be successful. You reached out to our kids not only for education purposes, but to support them emotionally and socially, and just to give them someone to have an ear to listen or someone they could talk to. And you just don't know how much that means. So again, thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for making West Brunswick High School the wonderful place it is for teaching and learning. I appreciate each and every one of you and what you bring to our faculty and staff. Find some time this summer to rest and relax and re-energize, and let's get ready for 2021. And we look forward to seeing you, and hopefully things will clear out a little bit, and hopefully we'll be back on campus real soon. If you get a little free time this summer and you want to stop by, we'll always be on campus Monday through Thursday. Come see us and have a good summer. Go Trojans!